Hello and welcome to the War on Wellness. I am Penny, also known as Plant Based Penny. So, thank you for joining me. And today we're talking about the mineral that is important to diabetics. And in case you have not joined before, I'm here on Wednesdays on Facebook group, and on YouTube and on my Facebook personal channel. So, thank you. Say hello. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you. And I'm just a normal person and who's had a little bit of experience in helping herself heal naturally, still managing some of my challenges health-wise and doing those as well as possible with natural remedies. And I just want to share some of those with you. I was diagnosed as being pre diabetic at one point, and I took some steps so that I did not become full blown diabetic. And knowing that m- if I veered off of my path, then I would indeed become diabetic because it is a challenge that, as they say, runs in the family. But we know that we do not have to follow the history that happened in our family. We can change the tide and we can be an example for others. And so we're talking about the topic of diabetes. And all of the month of June, I'm going to be talking about diabetes and how we can help ourselves and the symptoms and how we can solve for type 2 diabetes. And so the things that we're going to talk about for this month, we are definitely going to talk about today about the minerals that help with diabetes. So, hello, it is nice to see each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. I see my mom is here in the room. Hello, mother. I have people joining on YouTube as well. And yes, we have Yen. Let's see. I'm not sure I can pronounce the name, but Yendit. Yendit. Nice to have you as well. And so I am going to be talking to you specifically today about the diabetes and why it is definitely important to us. So, what I've been doing a lot is just sharing what it is that I've been doing to help myself and help the clients that I work with. And so I'm so happy when they say, yes, my A1C went down, my blood pressure went down, and all of those things are positives. So, zinc, let's at first at least tell what zinc is. So, zinc is a trace mineral. So, when something is a trace, when you just have a trace of something, that is just a small amount. So zinc is a trace mineral and the body needs just a small amount. Interestingly enough, if you were to take too much zinc, your body would start eliminating it. So sometimes if you take too much of a mineral, for instance, if you start taking in too much zinc is one of them, but there are others as well. If you start taking in too much, if there's no adverse effects, then your bodies will just start eliminating it in your urine. So the trace mineral, even though it's a small amount, it is nearly four. It's necessary for almost 100 enzymes to carry out their vital functions. And so zinc, even though you don't need a lot of it, it is necessary. It's definitely necessary. And it's necessary for a lot of things. It is necessary for the growth of DNA, it's necessary for or the development of DNA, the growth of cells, it's necessary for the building of proteins, is necessary for healing damaged tissues, and a lot of you may know that it's also necessary for a healthy immune system. Definitely. At least during the pandemic, a lot of people found out the importance of the zinc in their diet. And those with diabetes, they're often found to be deficient in zinc. And so it helps with the diabetes if we have the right amount and the supply of zinc in our diet and in our systems. And so studies have shown that the zinc supplementation can reduce the blood sugar and A1Cs. It has an antioxidant effect and it lowers the blood sugar. And it helps also with complications that are related to blood sugar. So I see I have a question here. And the question is, are there are there natural remedies besides supplements? Good question. Yes. Well, supplements can be a natural remedy, but you can also receive zinc in your diet to help you with your diabetes through food. Yes. And so it's necessary and it's possible to definitely have the zinc from different types of foods. And so, fortunately, a lot of these foods are on my favorite food list, and they may be on your list as well. And so, some of those foods that you can eat are actually high in fiber. And so, one of those being beans and also chickpeas, which are legumes, lentils, which are legumes as well. And those are, of course, high in fiber. And so that's going to help you, one, with the weight loss portion of the managing our diabetes. And so we know that reduction in weight and not being obese is going to help you in remedying the problems with diabetes. Also, staying hydrated. Okay. So another one of the sources is tofu or walnuts and cashews. And so walnuts and cashews being in the nuts category. If you're getting cashews, you might want to get the ones that are unsalted or that are salted with sea salt and not the ones that are just high in sodium that might trigger your blood pressure to increase as well. So you just want to be mindful of that. Chia seeds, another another opportunity for you to add zinc into your diet. And chia seeds, we know we can make chia pudding with them, or we can just add them to our smoothies or our salads or whatever our food item is. Chia seeds are another really easy way to make sure that you get the nutrients in your diet. And also, oh, hemp seeds is another one. Hemp seeds, it doesn't have a THC. It does come from the same plant as marijuana, but hemp seeds are very good for you and another great source of zinc as well. Also, ground linseed and pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, you can add those, you can sprinkle those over your salads, your vegetables. Easy to add, or you can just pop them in your mouth. Really easy to use as well. And another favorite of mine, I'll share that with you as well. Okay, we have another question as well. How do you cook tofu? Well, that's a very good question. And that's probably a longer question than this program will be able to handle. But what I can say is this: tofu takes on the what is it, the flavor of whatever it is that you're cooking it in. So it does need to be flavored. Please season your food. It does need to be flavored. So if you're cooking it in a marinara sauce, or you're sautéing it with garlic and other great flavorful herbs, is very important to do that. So if you're not accustomed to cooking tofu, if you buy the whole tofu cubes, slice it thinly or press it to get all of that water out, definitely. And so I would slice it thinly and then I would season it well. There are many different recipes that you can do for that, but also another great question. And okay, we have hellos. Hello. Let me know if you're watching on the replay or if you're watching on live. So say live if you're watching live, and replay if you're watching replay. So as I mentioned, also, it's a lot of high fiber foods happen to have zinc as well. And so the high fiber vegetable, that's going to be great for your diversity of the microorganisms in your gut. And it helps to synthesize the nutrients, and it helps with regular digestion, it helps with metabolism, and it helps with elimination. So all of those are going to be helpful for you. And so we're talking just specifically about the mineral that is going to be helpful for you when it comes to your helping the body manage diabetes. So as I mentioned before, my doctor said that I was just going to be diabetic. Look at my family history. You got grandparents, you got uncles, you got all these different people in your family who have diabetes. And so when my doctor looked at me and the fact that I was basically along the same path, I was eating basically a lot of carbs, not a lot of vegetables. I wasn't exercising, not consistently, and I could have been drinking more water and not the other stuff. And so, in looking at that history, she was absolutely right that I was going to be diabetic. But I decided to take another path different from my history and managing my challenges with my diet. And so that's when I became plant based. And that when I no longer had to see my blood sugar levels, my A1C levels out of the normal range. And so praise the Lord for that. But God has given us every herb yielding seed and fruit for the healing of our bodies. And so because he made our bodies, because he created our bodies, he knows what it is that we need. And so the food is here. We just need to know to apply it, to abstain from eating the things that cause us to go toward chronic illness, and to go toward eating the foods that are more natural or that are going to help us maintain a healthy homeostasis, a healthy body. Food can be the best form of medicine, or it could be the worst form of poison. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. All this month, I'm going to be talking about the war on wellness as it relates to diabetes. And 37.3 million Americans have diabetes. That's 1 out of every 10 people. And then there are people who don't even know they have diabetes who have diabetes, or they may be pre diabetic. And so it is so important that we pass this word along. And so this week we're talking about the mineral for diabetics, which is zinc. Next week we'll be talking about the foods that decrease insulin concentrations. And then after that, we'll be talking about the spices that aid in controlling the blood sugar. Think about it. Think about this. The shoes that you have on, the hair that you're wearing, if you had to buy it, men and women, the jewelry, the clothes, the car you drive, the house, the wherever, the things that you have, they are replaceable. Most of them are going to be replaceable. And the one thing that you cannot replace is this body. This body. Once it's maintained and it's gotten to its expiration date, then that is pretty much the end. So we may be able to buy something to make us look better or to help us feel better. But what we want to ultimately do is to look, live, and feel well with the one body that we have. And we want to be good stewards of it. So this is Penny, also known as Plant-Based Penny. Thank you for joining me for the War on Wellness. And I hope that you can, above all things, be in good health and prosper, just as your soul prospers. If there's anything I can do for you, please contact me at plantbasedpennylife.com. And you can also contact me through social media, either one of those, and I am happy to help you. Thanks for joining our broadcast today, and we'll talk with you later. Bye bye.